Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So some of you have been listening on my 5-minute crochet podcast and the weekday mornings that I am starting a new project, and I just wanted to introduce it to all of you on YouTube. Okay, so here's an old project. So this is a bag. This is a messenger bag made in the tapestry style. So I worked the bag body in the round. But and so all of this color work stitches were all on the right side. But when it came time to do the flap is back and forth, and I wanted it to look the same as the body of the bag, which was worked in the round. So because of that, I stitched it with my right hand, because I'm right-handed. I stitched it right-handed to the edge of the row, and then I switched hands and worked back with the right side still facing with my left hand. So that is how I achieved all the rows on the right side look, even though it was not turned, but even though it was flat. Are you following me? Anyway, this bag is one of my favorites, and it was in one of the UK crochet magazines, maybe Inside Crochet. I don't know, probably 10 years ago. Who knows? I don't remember. Anyway, my acquaintance, who I have been happy to meet in person, Carol Ventura, wrote these books, Tapestry Crochet and More Tapestry Crochet, probably more than a dozen years ago. And this one, but she's considered, I don't have a year on it, she's considered the greatest of all time when it comes to tapestry crochet. And I was able to buy these leftover out of the library editions from Amazon, and they're a treasure to me. And I don't see in here anywhere where she endorses steeking a crocheted item. Instead, it appears that she recommends the working one hand one direction and then switching the hook to the other hand and working with the other hand in the opposite direction if you're working a flat item. Okay, so I don't see any evidence in these books off the top of the quick 20-minute page through that I just did, because I couldn't remember if she recommended the steeking version. Sorry, that was a little timer of mine. Anyway, in the 5-minute crochet podcast, I'm looking at these colors here for a scrap blanket I'm tentatively calling it the candy blanket. And these are paint box yarns, Simply Erin, and there's a link to this to what's it called again? Crochet. Love Crafts, Love Crochet. Anyway, there's a link below the video for these. I get a affiliate kickback, but it's not a whole lot, and they don't sponsor this video. But anyway, these are my leftover scrap yarns, and I thought they went together really well. It's going to be a really fun, pretty blanket, and I thought it would look really fun and adorable in this Fair Isle style, tapestry style of stitching. So Tapestry is working single crochets to create either diagrams or imagery or whatever. So it can be any kind of shape. The Fair Isle part is 2 colors per row, or not more than 2 colors per row. And you drop the color, pick up the color within the row. But you do not do more than 2 colors in any one row. Okay, so I started practicing with this little in the round tube. So I crocheted maybe 40 single crochets, and at the end of the row I joined, it's actually this way, I joined with a chain 3 or 4 and then slip stitch so that I made a tube. It's a tube, but at the end of my design I put like a little ladder of 3 or 4 stitches, chains, so that all of my stitches are going on the right side. So my plan is to steek it like knitters do. So I'm not an extremely well-versed knitter, and so maybe some of you who are could give me some tips. But so I have these little chain 3 or 4 like gaps between this. So I'm I went ahead and cut a couple of the rows, and I'm going to flatten it out. So if I design a blanket in this style using those colors, and I work it in a tube so that I don't have to do right-handed and left-handed, I can just do my dominant hand all the way around, chain, 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 all the way around, chain, 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 all the way around. Then it'll make this gutter or seam where I can cut. So if I make the entire blanket like this and then take my scissors and cut the chains, then the blanket will then unfold and be a flat blanket that I have worked in the round. Are you following me? So and I stopped in the middle of the row because I didn't stop in the middle of the row, but Theo grabbed my yarn and pulled it back. Anyway, so if I did this, what would happen if can I secure this end somehow? So let's see, if I pull at these, will that hold enough? Will there create a knot? What will happen if I had 3 or 4 chains and then I crocheted? So I don't know why there's a little knot here, but that's okay. So I'm thinking what's going to happen is when I design the entire blanket in whatever design I'm making, and I stitch the entire blanket, working it in the round like a tube and leaving a gap of chains so that I'm just working in the round and then working single crochets, but then just doing this panel of chain stitches and then cut it all off. I don't want it to unravel my stitches. So what I'm thinking is maybe 4 stitches is not enough, but I don't know. 4 chains is not enough. Let me grab some waste yarn here. But what I might do after I have cut it is grab the main color of yarn. I'm using a contrasting color yarn just so we can see it better. But I would use the main color of yarn, and with the right side facing, I would maybe work down either of the cut edges to secure them. So I wonder what would happen if I could secure the ends here by making a slip stitch all the way down. I wonder if that would secure the ends enough where I cut that I could then place an edging on it and it would not unravel where I cut the yarn. You know what I'm saying? So those of you who are knitters out there who have done steeking, or if you're a crocheter who has done crocheted steeking in the past, I know it can be done. I'm just wondering how to do it. I guess I could look it up and see if some other designer expert has figured it out. But if I then put this slip stitch seam on it and then go back with single crochet or something. So I did turn. I guess I could work in rounds around this part too. After I'm done with this little stop gap measure, I'm going to tug on it and see what happens and see if my crochet steeking experiment was a success or if I need to try some more. Totally fine. It's a learning experience. Everything is a learning experience. Experience is what you get when you didn't get what you wanted. Okay, so it is flaring out a little bit, which is okay. So apparently the width of my single crochets are bigger than the height of my single crochets. So the width of my single crochets is wider than the height of my rows. That's okay. But if I put a border on, I'll need to know that it's going to be like bigger stitches around the edge. Now, if I come over here to these cut pieces, nope, it's coming undone. It's coming undone. If I pull it, do you see that? It's coming undone. That's interesting. Okay, so that did not work. Good to know. It just went right underneath and created this holy fabric. Okay, so the staking is going to need a little more work, but the concept is interesting and fun. So I will have to see what to do about it. Any ideas? Message me down below and comment and like, and let's figure this out together. Have a great day. Bye. Doggy, what do you think of the snow, doggy?